Look at me.
Cheers and welcome to From Behind the Barcast, the podcast of bartending, service industry, drinking in general, and online panhandling. My name is Paxton Eugene. We've got Sunset Kelly on the ones and twos. I don't have the... I am so excited today. Let me tell you why.
Okay.
Number one, I'm sober. I'm not hungover. Number three, yesterday I discovered two of my favorite things in the world have collided like the Titanic with the iceberg.
That was a disaster, by the way.
That was, yeah.
Okay, that's all right.
So is this.
Okay.
Sort of. There's a little group, cult, religion, whatever you want to call them. They're called Scientology. One of my favorite subjects to speak on. Also, another one of my favorite subjects to speak on is the Venmo on the back of the car. Hey, buy the bride a drink.
Yeah.
Hey, pay for our honeymoon, right? It's never donate money to cancer research. You know what I mean?
Right.
There's only one good example that I've ever heard of that, which was, and Alex, the first co-host of this podcast, brought it up to me. One of his girl friends did it. She and her friends went out for her birthday, and they used all the money to get Ubers and tip the bartenders.
All right.
I don't know how they worded it on the,
Yeah, if the money went where it was supposed to go.
That's what, it was cool to use it as like, hey, we're still going to go out. We're paying for our shit. But like, you know, we're going to be safe. You know, we're not going to drink and drive.
Right.
And wherever we go, no matter how much, you know, chaos we may cause.
I like that angle.
That's a cool angle.
Yeah.
Well, and then there's this angle. Imagine if you, imagine if you will, a billionaire puts a Venmo, writes Venmo on the back of his private jet, which says, donate to my GoFundMe to help pay for the fraud charges leaned against Donald Trump. All right. This podcast isn't about politics at all. I don't care about politics, mine or yours, or any goddamn bodies. Politics are stupid. This is not about fucking politics. Let's pop the screen up right here if we could.
All right.
Mr. Grant Cardone. Now, from here it says, what it won't tell you is that he's an ardent Scientologist, but world-renowned entrepreneur, author, speaker, investor, and life coach. He's the type of guy that goes, if you make less than $400,000, you're a piece of shit. How do you live?
Right.
You can't work for me unless you have a six-pack.
Oh, I've heard of this guy.
He's the life coach guy that's like, if you're not, you know, like, he's traditionalist in the sense of like, you know, the men does this and the women does that and the this does, you know, whatever.
Yeah, maybe.
Now, he's not against women being successful or whatever, but like he's, you know, his thing is unless you're earning maximum money at all costs, regardless of, right, then you're not a man. You're not being, you're not fulfilling your humanly deeds.
Gotcha.
So this sumbitch who is purportedly worth about $4 billion, right? He starts, him and his smooth brain wife start a GoFundMe, okay? GoFundMe is to try and help the $355 million unjust settlement of Donald Trump's fraud charges, which Cardone says this isn't about politics. It's about justice, right? A billionaire asking, all right, so I didn't pull it up here, but so I started looking at this GoFundMe. There's about, they're up to $993,000 so far of the goal of $355 million.
Oh.
And this is from about like 20,000 backers. These are the same backers who are probably taking half of their fucking Social Security check, half of their disability money, because they ingested diabetes into themselves over the past 25 years of living like shit.
Yeah.
And it's essentially donating to a romance scammer. You know what it is? It's political tithing.
Okay. Well, yeah.
They're tithing to their God. They think that whoever they're tithing to is going to provide something for their poor asses.
So 20,000 people have gotten it to this
Right.
point.
So
I was thinking maybe it might be fishing for like 2 or 3 billion other billionaires.
Well, see, here's the thing. No, because
You know-
billionaires don't spend their money on dumb shit like that. That's why they're billionaires, Kelly.
Well, some of them do.
I mean, yeah. This
You
guy.
just need 3 of them to get your goal.
Here's the thing. There's probably like 5 ultra donors. You know what I mean? Like 100K, something like that.
Yeah.
This dude, if he's worth $4 billion and he cares so goddamn much about this thing,
Yeah.
drop in the bucket. He could take care of. And I don't know. I don't think Trump has any money either.
He's
What are we
broke.
talking about?
He's broke.
Yeah, definitely broke. What are we talking about here? But it made me think, like, the smooth brains, and like I said, politics aside, doesn't matter. You have very rich people
Yeah.
asking for money to give to other rich people. It's like, if you care so much about it, give them your own money. And I'm telling you, it's people who think that their political tithing in some way is going to pay them dividends down the road. Like, their heaven would be like no blacks. You know what I'm saying? Or
yeah, I got you.
you get.
Yeah.
It's just
Every golf hole's a hole in one. You know?
some Kim Jong Un shit. The first time he ever played golf, he was 20 under.
Exactly. Kill 12 caddies in the process.
I don't know if you can hear it over the microphone, but your boy P's having, I guess, a little bit of an allergic reaction today. I'm not going to zoom in or anything. But I sent Kelly, you know what? I will put a picture up of the picture I sent Kelly earlier.
Please do.
Of a close-up of my right eyelid, which was, swollen like I'd been punched.
Uh-huh.
And now it's moved to the palm of my hand, and the bottom left of my lip is kind of, I was out in the yard today. I don't know if I got into some skiffle weed or some ragtime or whatever. Whatever my, like, what am I allergic to, though? Because I look ridiculous. And when I went to the store for the first time today, I had no idea that this was going on because it didn't feel itchy until afterwards. When I walked up to the counter, I was like, why you got to look at me like that, dude? I was like, this person is taking some kind of umbrage with me. I was like, do I not know you? And have I done something to you that's...
So no numbness? So when you were talking
it got itchy after a minute.
Okay.
And that was it. But my lip doesn't itch. My eyelid itched. Maybe that's why I get puffed up so much. My palm right here kind of itches. I don't know, but... It's probably because I didn't tithe to the GoFundMe. These are the welts and the warts of the 14th plague, as it were.
You got to look for the signs.
The signs are all around us.
Exactly.
Did you see it was a full moon yesterday? You know what happens on full moons, brother?
Stuff.
Things.
Lots of things.
It's real, man.
Sometimes you talk about it. Sometimes you don't.
How sick of it do you get? Well, full moon must mean blank. Bro.
If you're blaming your jackassery on that,
brother, it's full moon every night in my life.
Yeah, dude, you're not Navajo, you're not Native American, so don't give me that moon cycle shit. Just stop.
So if someone, billionaire or not,
Okay.
which you know what cool millionaires and billionaires do? They do charities. They say, hey, we want to raise money for whatever research, and then they match it. It's just like a famous billionaire, millionaire, whatever. They're using their platform, their name, their well-knownness in the community, and so that's a positive way to do charity. Here's another way to do charity. Here's a slick way to do charity. Right. And I hate it and I love it at the same time. I hate it because I had to listen to it. I love it because it's genius. Saturday night at Huckapoo's, the place that I work, if you're not familiar. We had a little event called Cherokee. And I saw they had been posting their flyers in the bathrooms and around or whatever. So immediately when I see Cherokee, I'm like, is it for the elderly? Can they not stand up? I mean, this is I'm not, you know, I'm not making
Okay.
a bit. That's what I thought.
I got you. Okay.
Got a lot of olds down here.
Yeah, a few.
We're old on Tybee. It's really like really old and really young. Like there's
Yeah.
not much in the middle.
Yeah, no shit.
Well, Karaoke was charity karaoke, and it was ran by parrot heads. And if you're not from the South or you have higher than a 9th grade education, a parrot head is a person who follows Jimmy Buffett, apparently, right? And fine, Jimmy Buffett, whatever. Is he dead?
Oh, wow.
I think he just died, didn't he?
I think so.
Did he finally go to that Margaritaville in the sky?
I'm pretty sure.
I don't know. Anyways,
Damn.
yeah, I don't know.
And I should know this.
You should.
You should know this.
You should.
frankly.
A man of your age,
It's your show.
a man who's been to as many Parrot Head concerts as you have.
I went to 3.
How many have you really been to 3?
Yeah, my buddy in college, Brian Shire, Chewy, he was a big Parrot Head at that time. And we went to the old Lakewood Amphitheater. Well, it's still Lakewood, but that's what we call it. 3 years in a row. Same exact show all
course.
3 years. And that's kind of when I got to my end of the run.
Well, everyone experiments in
Yeah.
college.
But I did appreciate the message of his lifestyle, you know, and how he existed.
Did you know he was from Alabama, though?
Yes.
See, that was the weirdest thing when I was hearing his music. I was like, he's got to be from like the Florida Keys or.
Yeah, and he absolutely married that to his own
Yeah.
identity. But yeah, he's just a good old Southern boy.
I mean, I respect that. And he wrote his 10 songs that were like very huge and lived off of them forever. And
Yeah.
people want to hear him constantly.
Yeah.
I don't anymore.
No, there was a time.
There's a time Cheeseburger in Paradise would not
Yeah.
incite instant diarrhea to me.
Well, we were talking earlier about when I lived above the Bayou Cafe
Yeah,
on River Street. Every other bar had to do it on a bar stool.
100%.
And you're getting Margaritaville.
The Crab Shack down here in Tybee Island, Georgia, exclusively
Come to life,
Plays-
Jimmy Buffett and his music has there.
plays Jimmy Buffett.
Yes.
Exclusive. Imagine that.
Yeah.
I've known people that have worked there. Yeah, anyways.
Yeah, okay.
So karaoke, here's the brilliance of this style of charity karaoke. And like this is new to me and it might not be new to other people, but whatever. I'm just a babe in the woods. I'm green over here. Who cares? I'm stupid.
Yeah.
I'm not a parrot head. I don't know stuff. Okay. So what you do is you sign your buddy up to sing a song.
Oh.
You say, I want Joe Flacco to sing Beer for My Men and Women for My Horses or whatever.
So were people actually singing or were they lip syncing?
They were singing.
Okay.
Unfortunately.
All right. All right.
So you go, I want Joe Flacco to sing Rocky Top, right? You pay $20, whatever. You bid in amounts of money. So then when they say, Joe Flacco, time to sing, you can either sing or outbid the person who, if you outbid them, you don't have to sing.
Nice.
Then ensues the bidding war, which is brilliant. The only thing was, I think, very unfortunately, I think only once did someone outbid the other person so they didn't have to sing.
Oh.
Now, inherently, I'm not a karaoke snob. I'm a music snob, but not a karaoke snob because karaoke's karaoke. It's meant for, people to get up there and like live their fantasies, sing a song, have fun.
Yeah.
Some people take it so fucking seriously that it's annoying.
This is their shot.
Yeah, they're going to get discovered. And I would prefer the guy or gal who can't really sing, who's really just going up there to have fun, than I'm trying to get a record deal over here.
Yeah.
Like then join a band, like be professional,
Well, if you're tone deaf, do you know you're tone deaf?
Yeah, I don't know. yeah. And if you have things on your chest.
Yeah.
And a large thing around and a split somewhere on you, not a lot of people are going to tell you otherwise. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You're just some dude. They're going to be like, "What are you doing out there, Fred? You're pitchy." You know what I mean? So they're everyone's trying to outbid each other either to sing or not sing. I'd rather. So here's where you F up if you're running a karaoke thing. The sound, so it was quiet enough out there. Like it wasn't like boom, 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 boom. If I was working the outside bar. If I was inside, it was barely hearable.
Yeah.
But outside, you could tell that they didn't monitor it correctly, where the singers could hear the rhythm of the music.
Oh.
And they were trying to solely follow the scroll of the words on the screen.
Yeah.
So they're literally 2 or 3 clicks off beat. So the song will end before they're done singing.
Oh no.
Pitchy, off-key singing is one thing. You know, that's hard enough to hear. But off-rhythm singing,
Yeah.
and here's the worst part. 90% of karaoke tracks have a backing harmony track that'll go, for my men and for my horses. And these guys haven't even gotten to that lyric yet. Imagine
Oh no.
I'll tell you what, it was certainly better than last year because Hockey Joe reminded me of this. Last year, we were still having music this time of year. And they did the same karaoke, but they started later and the band came on at 10 o'clock and the karaoke wouldn't stop. So it was a battle of the band and karaoke. The epic battle.
I think I vaguely remember that.
I think, yeah. Well, apparently I'd blocked it out of my memory so good because it took him to remind me of it. I was like, oh God. And then, you know, the Ratatouille moment, I had the entire flashback. Neither would budge. So this karaoke's going on, and our buddy Pat Burns, you know, he volunteers our other buddy Edo to sing Seal, Kiss from a Rose. And right away, he laid down the hammer and Pat put like $60 down. So Edo was like, looks like I'm singing the song. Edo was the performance of the night because he don't care about, you know, he's not a singer. He don't care about singing.
Yeah.
But when it got to my power, my pleasure, my pain, ooh, he hit that so hard. Think about the rest of the song. But then all right, I want you to visualize the song. Anyone can say it so much, right?
Yeah.
You know the song, Batman soundtrack. I thought Edo was doing a bit, but apparently these lyrics are in there. After every refrain, he would go, healthy babies. Do you remember? Now, I haven't looked up the lyrics yet because I wanted it to be a mystery.
I've sang that song a lot in the car at the top of my lungs. Don't remember that verse.
Do you remember healthy babies? He said healthy babies after every refrain, I believe.
Oh, baby.
No, healthy babies. Does he go, healthy baby? But he
you
but
know,
Edo,
is this a Mandela thing you're doing to me now?
No, I'm telling you,
now I'm starting to believe it. Because I know.
Kiss from a rose.
I thought it was
should
just
have done this before.
I thought it was just
I
baby.
should have done this before. Let's see. Kiss from a Rose lyrics. It starts with the bayada, bayada, bayada.
Skip.
Bayada, bayada.
Skip.
I don't see healthy. No, verse 2. Let's see. Oh, is that healthy? Won't you tell me? Is that? Oh man, I don't remember that. Healthy baby. There it is.
Is that healthy, babe? Oh,
It's healthy, comma baby.
ah.
But he would just go la 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 la.
God damn.
Healthy baby. Like it was some kind of statement. I was like, Edo, I want there to be healthy babies too. If you're gonna have one, have healthy babies.
I never say. I was just baby. You know.
But my power, my pleasure. It brought the house on every time. Every time. And it brought some people to their knees, but not in the good way. They tripped and fell over chairs.
Oh, God bless it.
There's a bit of an incident where most of the organizers were like, young lady, leave the stage. Young lady, they turned the mic off on her. There was a step stool to get up on the stage, right? One performer stepped up the step stool, and they saw that this person was following behind. They ran and kicked it.
Oh,
So that there was.
wow.
I'll tell you off camera who it was, but you might have a pretty good guess.
I got an idea.
So later on that night, you've been to Huck and Poo's before. We, you know, at any bar, really, if it's not purely like a restaurant thing, like at Applebee's, you have your eras of the night. You know, it'll be like family time for a little bit, and then adult time a little bit later on in the night, whatever.
Yeah.
Then you got some parents who it don't matter what time it is. If they're with their kids and they don't feel like going anywhere, they're going to stay.
Yeah.
And I get it. We talked with Mac Williams last week, and it wasn't as if his mother was taking him out to bars all the time, but if you expose kids to certain social aspects, then it won't be such a mystery to them when it does happen. Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
If you tell your kids never smoke weed, never drink, never watch porn, never watch rated R movies, what the fucking first thing they're gonna do is when they get the chance.
Pick one.
But 4-year-olds don't understand that concept yet.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, so you got people hanging out there, and there's two types of parents. There's the parents that are like, they can stay out as long as they want because the longer we stay out right now, they can run around, whatever. By the time we get home, they're gonna be knocked out.
Yeah. Like prior to 9 or so, especially in the summer, pulling in there, it's just chaos. Kids are just trucking around, swinging on that rope. It's a playground.
It's basically a hamster wheel for little kids.
Yeah.
For a lot of parents, which I get.
Yeah.
Whatever. That's like the non-helicopter parent. Now there are some of those parents that are just like getting kind of drunk. It's like, who's driving these precious little babies? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I wanted to ask you, like, how often do you get mother, father, children all in the same cab together? I know you had the one story of the lady and her son.
I mean, no, a lot.
Is that pretty often?
Well, I mean,
good.
Yeah, we'd get lots of families and all that. I mean, do you mean like late at night or
just I'm saying late at night, like mom and dad took their kids out, they got too drunk, they need to take a cab. Do they call you?
Yeah, I mean, definitely. I've had drunk parents with their little kids coming from a house party at 2 o'clock in the morning.
I have a bleak view of the world, brother.
Well,
God,
all right,
I'm sorry.
You know, and maybe I'm splitting hairs when I say this.
Yeah.
But coming out of, say, Huckapoos at 2 o'clock on a busy night with your kids versus coming from a house party.
Sure.
Everybody's there. Kids are probably playing in one room. The parents
kids
are
are
doing
probably
things in the
asleep
room.
on the couch by that time.
Yeah, and I'm bringing them home. That seems okay to me.
Yeah.
You know, we're parents having a good time. I grew up that way. My parents did that.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, but when I'm pulling them out of like probably a place that's more akin to a bar atmosphere that has food.
Yeah.
That's
a little sketch.
Yeah.
Hey man, parent how you want to. Not saying that one thing is right or wrong over the other.
And I'm in no position to judge, but it does make you kind of. It's 2 o'clock in the morning. Why the hell are you guys just leaving the South End now?
The feeling I get when I see people like that, a lot of them are repeat offenders.
Yeah.
It's not like, oh shit, we did it this one time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me know how you guys feel, because my stepdad drank a lot. My mom really didn't. But we were never in a position where it was like, can we go now from a bar?
Yeah.
You know, they would party at house parties and not saying my parents were better than anyone else's, but it seems like a very strange thing because I'm not a parent and I don't want to be, but I just feel like the stress of me trying to chill and drink and relax would be like the specter of my kid needing to get home at some point would be looming over me.
If you're self-aware, then that's just part of the deal. 10 o'clock's the cutoff time, or 11,
right?
Whatever. But 4:30 in the morning, those days are over.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
exactly. I mean, those days are over
for most people.
Well, if you have kids out with you,
oh yeah, exactly.
Those days are over.
You got to remember, something has changed here.
Yeah. Oh, the two little ones. Yeah. So, I mean, no, I can't. It's not like people get in the car and I have to read them the riot act. But no, even last night I was telling you about that little scenario, and these people were trying to find their way into a local hotel, and I'm giving them the bet. I knew I was not getting paid at this point.
Oh wow!
But I'm just trying to help them navigate the check-in process.
They were trying to check into a hotel at late at night on a Sunday.
Yes.
Last night.
Yes.
Trying to check in.
Yes. They said they had. And I was trying to tell them where they needed to go, but they just weren't having it. And in the meantime, the dad wanted to wander around trying to figure this out as I'm trying to tell him what he needs to do, and the wife and the kids won't get out of the car because they're like, we're collateral, so just so you know you'll get paid. I'm like, I don't even.
At this point, I don't care.
Yeah,
I just kind of want you and your kid.
I want this to be over with.
What time was this?
Gosh, it's
midnight.
No, after. Probably close to Pooh's closing whenever that was finally starting to get buttoned up.
Shut up. How old were the kids?
barely walkable. I'm not saying infant, but
Ooh,
both under 3.
come on, man.
Hey,
Hey, man, I'm not judging. But
yeah, neither was I.
But here's the thing: if you hadn't booked the hotel or the Airbnb already,
Well, they had booked it, but they were trying to do it the wrong way. And I was like, because there's this one particular place, the DeSoto, has 3 properties: the condos, the hotel, and that little bread and breakfast kind of cottage place. And that's where they thought they were staying. And I'm like, either way, you've got to go into the hotel to check in. I know that about this place.
Right,
Regardless of whatever entity.
Been down here for a long time, brother.
Whatever property you're staying at on this property, you need to go to the second floor upstairs. It was just this whole ordeal. And in the meantime, you got.
But you don't know nothing. You're just a cab driver, Kelly.
Yeah.
You don't know nothing?
So I just got him out of the car. No ill will was exchanged.
Sure,
but I was just like, this is where you guys are staying. Yeah. My job is over. Get out of the car.
I'd much rather deal with those parents than the other type of parents. The parents that I really don't like dealing with are the ones that are scared of their kids. Do you know this type of parent? Yeah. At a restaurant, at least.
Yeah.
One guy comes up. He goes, hey, excuse me. Did you know your Sprite's out?
Like, the kid?
No, the dad. The dad did this.
Okay.
But I think the kid must have tasted it and been like, ew.
Well, sure.
So the dad, and I was like, now I do. That's how we.
I thought you had like a 4-year-old CEO rolling up to you.
Oh, man, if I did, that'd be great. Yeah. That'd be great. But I think the dad was just like, he carried over like his son's disappointment in him for not getting him a Sprite, I guess. He goes, did you know the Sprite's out? Yeah. Like, now I do. I'll go change it for you, man. Let's chill. Your kid's not going to kill me or you, or maybe you. I don't know. Yeah. You know, kids these days, I tell you. Yeah. Then this other guy, he's holding his kid. He's holding his boy, probably 3 years old. And he asks, not a crazy question. He says, do you guys have apple juice? And I was looking around at Huckapoo's, like, probably wouldn't assume we would, but it's your kid, ask, whatever.
Yeah.
He goes, I said, no, we don't have apple juice. All we have is orange juice, pineapple juice, and cranberry juice. He goes, okay, son, is pineapple okay? And the kid goes, yeah, with the red stuff. He goes, will you put some grenadine in there for me? I was like, I will sugar the shit out of your son right now. You beta
I'm
father.
Your pusher man.
Yeah, for real. I'm your Huckleberry. I was like, this kid is going to push this dude around for the rest of it. He's going to be so jacked. So, yeah, pineapple juice with grenadine in it was the satiation drink for this child. Because there are the parents who bring their kids to restaurants, and the kids know whatever they get. The parents are in control. After they eat, they might let them run around for a little bit, but you can tell that the kids have been taught already, like, hey, man, the servers, the whoever, this isn't your time to do everything you do to the parent, to us, as the parents.
Yeah.
Mom, I want this. Dad, I want this. If I don't get this. But then some parents let their kids do that to them, and then they pass that junk onto their servers and bartenders.
Yeah.
It's abuse by proxy.
Well, I mean, I was a picky eater when I was a kid, and I'm sure my mom might have different recollection of how this all went, but I don't ever remember being like a ticking time bomb at a restaurant, destroying the booth, just shredding every straw that came or napkin that came near
There's
me.
Not a sugar packet unbroken inside.
And my mom might have a different recollection of this, but I mean, I might be a little picky about what was put in front of me, but I don't remember ever walking away from a restaurant and looking like a war zone.
Yeah. Well, and
to placate
I mean, I know
me.
you're still a picky eater.
Yeah.
And I know you probably were then, but I'm sure they knew that too. So they were like, we know what to order and what not to order. They're not getting you fried calamari.
Yeah.
And be like, give him the chicken tendies.
Yeah. And, well, chicken tendies were quite the thing they are now 50 years ago.
Okay.
I mean.
What, do you say the quality was less?
Well, no, I remember when chicken nuggets at McDonald's came out. No one had chicken nuggets. That wasn't a regular menu item. It just wasn't in my lifetime. So, but as far as how I acted at a restaurant, yeah, I don't ever remember throwing a tantrum just 'cause.
I think I can't remember throwing a tantrum because all of my memories of going out to eat were like, we're not eating at home. I'll do whatever it takes.
Yes. And probably the one minor meltdown I ever had was leaving McDonald's, because back then McDonald's had everything pre-made. There was, getting I forget how they phrase it, like when you get a variance to the order. But back then they'd had a big bin that had the cheeseburgers, no cheeseburgers,
Yep.
all of it, and you just grab it, and that was where the speed came from.
Oh.
So if you wanted something plain, that was a whole nother order that you had to
yeah.
wait for them to cook and this and that. So if they got it wrong, and we're leaving that drive-through, and I'm fishing down there into my Happy Meal,
And there's
that
a
thing's
dollop
got
of mustard on there.
5 pickles, just the whole 9 yards, dude. And going to McDonald's was a rare thing,
It was a
when
treat,
I was
man.
a kid. It was a treat.
But the thing is, don't you think the McDonald's guys were smart enough to know that mostly kids would eat it? And why do they put goddamn onions on everything that they made? Kids won't eat onions.
It was
I
just
don't
an
care who you are.
assumption. It was just an assumption.
Yeah, I mean, whatever. Don't put onions on everything.
Well, there's endless. God, we're probably going way off the rails here, but there's endless burger places where we're just mustard and onions, cheese. That's it.
Well, now, those are the grown-up places now, though.
Yeah.
Like if you're going to Five Guys and shit like that,
Yeah.
you're not a kid being like, I want no mustard.
Yeah.
I want cheese and bread.
You want to hear Dad come unhinged during the summer? Go to Five Guys and get a $8 hot dog for their kid.
Oh, thank you for segueing into my next thing. It's like we're synced up here. I've been seeing this thing, and I've experienced it a lot. But I've been seeing this thing about like celebrity athletes. Let's call them new money celebrities, whatever they're in, music, athletes, whatever. They go to a restaurant and the sticker shock happens, right? They're like, $1,250.
Yeah.
What did y'all order? And then they take the expense of the meal that they didn't expect to pay out on not tipping the server.
Right.
And it's happened to me in the sense of one guy's like, I've got all their tabs. And I go, well, all of their tabs added up is $112.
Yeah.
And he's got $120.
But nobody else in the squad had
No.
a couple of Lincolns on them. Something.
I mean, I'm sure they probably did, but
the discussion was never.
but once
even had.
once he goes, I've got you. They're almost out the door.
Yeah.
Like, oh, are you taking care of the tab? They think if someone, because if someone offers,
Yeah.
hey, I'm going to take care of the tab. If they're in the industry, they'll go, all right, well, I'll get the tip. Most times the other people will be like, oh, I'll get the tip.
Yeah.
But if you're not in the industry, you're just like, hey, this person who says they're going to take care of the tab is taking care of the tab.
Well, I've had people. I mean, those moments where it's absolutely quadrupled my ride because one person pays and then everybody else almost pays the same amount. Other times they're so drunk, one person pays. We get to the next stop and they all forget about the deal that was in place. Yeah. I'm paying for the ride. You guys tip him when he drops you off,
Yep.
and they forget. But at that point, the ride is technically paid for.
Right.
So I don't go, hey, a little something for the effort.
Because you're the douchebag then to be like, hey, I overheard you guys talking
Yeah.
and you agreed on tipping me.
Yeah.
Then you're like, oh.
That just seems wrong to me. They don't remember, then so be it. But the ride is paid for at that
I know,
point.
but that just sucks to be in the position of like
does.
not able to ask for something that you were sort of promised and expected.
But honestly, even 50-50 for me, it really does balance out because when it does work the way it's supposed to, it's almost like everybody pays all over again.
Right.
Even though the guy already threw a 20 on a 4-person ride, I get, another couple Jacksons on top of it. Because, yeah.
The ebbs and flows, rains and pours. And it does seem like there's a bit of like gambler's luck. Like once you do get on a roll in a night in terms of people being generous.
Uh-huh.
It happened to me last Saturday. The first guy that came in, he goes, hey, man, I know 2 or 3 weeks ago I've left twice without paying my tab. I'm Venmoing you $100 right now for the tip for both of those. And then I'm going to take care of the rest of these guys' drinks with this $100 bill.
Nice.
And they drink like $20 worth. I was like, you sure? And then the rest of the night, everyone was just super, super generous. I wonder if it's like the some kind of quantum mechanics where it's like the love goes out and the love
You're not
stays.
wrong with the gambler mentality that comes along with it. It's a hell of a rush to get way over tipped and knowingly that they know.
Yeah.
It's like you realize you're giving me a 50. It's not a 5. Oh yeah, no, dude, you guys are awesome. This is way better than the $10,000
really
alternative, that kind of thing. And then it's like you're riding the high.
Right, yeah.
You want to double down.
And it's not even like I performed well, because my
Did
performance
nothing.
is pretty much
Yeah.
not dictated by anything. I'm pretty much the same all the time.
Yeah.
Either I'm bad because I'm bad, or I'm good because I'm good. So the big tip, it's so exhilarating. That's
Absolutely,
true.
yeah.
It's the gambler's high. But the thing about the gambler's high is they say they feel it more when they lose. I don't feel that way. I like to win.
I do too. I do too. But as I said before, I learned to not go into work expecting to make any number value.
Yeah.
Because you're sweating like, if I don't make this tonight, then you can't think that way.
Once you have that mentality,
Yeah.
it'll either cause you to do shit you wouldn't normally do. Like stay open. Like for me, it would be like stay open for this couple. That I'm
Yeah.
like, man, they'll probably give me 20 or 30 off of
Or
this.
overindulge someone's shit, hoping it's going to pay off after the third stop and the second time they had to get it together. And,
Listen to their fifth story about their ex-wife.
and then they go with the old, I got you. I got you.
Do you?
No, you don't.
Do you?
No.
Hey, you know I'm gonna get you later, right?
Yeah.
We had an interesting ride home the other night, Saturday. You came to pick me up, and there was two girls
Uh-huh.
that you had been, you could tell they were from out of town, and they were picking up. And
Yeah.
rightfully, I got in the front of the cab, and rightfully they thought, oh, that must be his cab, but you were there to pick us all up,
Yes.
just separately, and they didn't know. So rightly, they were cautious. They were like, hey, what's
Yeah.
going on? Because you had always picked them up.
Yes.
So they get in the car, and we're riding home, and by their demeanor, I could tell that, I was annoyed a little bit.
Well, there were 22,
Whatever.
23 tops.
Yeah,
Maybe.
couple drunk girls, whatever, don't care. And then I get out of the car. They're like, "Peace out, Girl Scout." Yeah, peace out, Girl Scout. I was like, I didn't do anything. I didn't even turn around and look at you guys because I'm so hyper aware of like creep mode when it comes to strangers.
Of course.
My girl friends, I'm a fucking creep, whatever.
Yeah,
But stranger girls, yeah.
I might have even prefaced it when I rolled down your window and like, he works here. I'm taking him home. I
Yeah.
got you guys too. And
Which, hey, look at me. Rightly so. That I could be a predator.
Yeah.
They don't know me. They're from
I'm just
out of
taking
town.
them home from work, and then they finally settled in. But I had picked them up twice previously, so we had a little minor breezy relationship, but familiarity. I'll
Sure.
say that they'd seen my face before,
Right, yeah.
So when I told them like, it's okay, get in,
Yeah.
it's gonna be fine.
And then, but the beauty part was, and they didn't, I didn't hear this when I was riding with them, and I didn't know this until you told me today, that they were giving you a Jackson every time they rode,
Yes, they did.
which is 100% tip.
Yep.
And they didn't open with, hey, we're bartenders.
Nope.
They ended with their bartenders, correct?
Yes, and each time they gave me the Jackson, I never assume anything as far as the
of course.
tip. And they said
Especially
no.
from,
they just kept saying
you were
we got you.
profiling like them, like they were profiling
and
us.
they just the first few times were like, we got you, and I was like, all right, cool, thank you. And then when I dropped them off again, I was going to make change one more time, and they're like, no, we got you, dude. We're bartenders.
Man, that's how you do it.
Yeah.
And all right, I'm sure this has happened to you too, and this is fine when it happens, but it's funny because you can tell when it will happen. You got a guy, gal, whatever. Can I get so and so? All right, it's $10. Here's a 20. Keep it. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Here's let me get two more. All right, it's $10. Here's a 20. Keep it. All right, let me get two more. It's $10. Oh, it's $10. Okay. All right. Here's 12. Hey, let me get it. And then the next 5 times you don't get tipped at all.
Yeah.
But I'm like, is that them running out of money?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, people go to their wallet all the time, and whoopsie daisy, moths are flying out. It's like I could have swore, but by that point we're in the driveway of where we were. It's not the breezy way to like, I'm going to turn around and take you back to where.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, what a waste of time.
The deal's done. So it's just now at this point, it's like, if you're never going to use this again, then just
Whatever.
spread it forward.
Yeah,
pay it forward. Whatever.
Yeah,
you
got
call
it. You got over on me
If
this
you're
one
if you're a
time.
local, then
Yeah.
and you're habitual, then
You know what you need? You need like a TSA check-in for the Breezy cab. To get in, the RFID of their wallet says it has $14 cash before you even.
well, dude, if we did things digitally, we probably wouldn't have these problems to begin with. But that's not the breezy way.
Hey, but we're a cash society. the other thing that that sort of sounds like whenever people don't like to tip you and stuff. If I can get my stuff together, it is. Really should have done some prep for this show.
Yeah.
Look at this. There we go. There we go.
Oh shit! It's the Karen
I'm the fucking
of the
Karen.
week. It's the Karen of the week. Gosh.
Oh shit! This week's Karen's brought to you by Inferno Hot Sauces, Tybee Island, Georgia. Also by Firemaker. Visit firemakerbeer.com. Mike got mad at me last week. He goes, Mike O'Connor of firemakerbeer.com. He goes, I was in the car and I heard you talk about Sunboy. Do you remember this from last week?
Barely, yeah.
And he said, I cut it off. And I turned it back on because last week I said, I don't drink, the only spiked coconut water I drink is Firemaker. So shout out to them. I have a Darren of the week and it's not my Darren. It was a Darren that I witnessed. It's a common Darren though. It is a Darren that Darren's everywhere.
Wow.
I get to work, so the weather's starting to get a little bit better.
Try.
And so I've been asking my fellow employees if I could show up an hour or two early to get some of the warm weather in and
Look at you.
earn 40 or 50 extra bucks, you know.
Hope springs eternal.
You know, just a couple more dollars here and there, you know what I'm saying? So I get in, and there's a crowd that I normally miss. I normally catch just the tail end of them. But when you go, and I don't know if this is like a natural bell curve of humanity that leave at 4:45 from places right before I start work. But so I've been getting there about an hour and a half early the past 2 days.
There's this day drinking shift change.
That's a real thing, right?
Absolutely.
So I catch the very end of it where they've closed out and their buddy's trying to get them to leave at some point. But now I start, the past 2 times I've come into work, I've ran into them when they're only at their 3/4 mark, which is an entirely different animal. I'm used to people starting. I'm used to people ending.
Yeah.
But I'm not used to really showing up dead in the center or 3/4 of the way to their degeneracy.
Yeah.
Well, this guy, when I get there, I can hear, I walk in, I go to the back, take my backpack off, take my earbuds out. The first 2 or 3 people, employees that walk by me through the hallway back there, say something to the effect of, the guy don't shut the fuck up about the planes. And I was like, ooh, what are we talking about? I was like, I felt like it was a mystery to me, like when he's like, why do you keep talking about the fucking golf shoes? You know, Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. I was like, what is it about the plane? Al comes back and says, I hate a fucking plane. I'm like, so I'm getting my stuff ready, you know. Alex is working the daytime. He sees me there. I'm like, hey, man, you know, just give me a few minutes, you know, got to get my head together. He's like, yeah. He starts closing everybody out. All of a sudden I hear, well, but don't ask me to take you out on the plane because I might just do something like that. You know what I mean? I'm just stupid enough to do something like that. I'll take you out on the plane. So I haven't seen the guy yet, but I have this vision of him. I think it's going to be like a mid-40s gentleman who has like a Cessna, right?
Okay, yeah.
A Hawaiian shirt, probably a parrot head if I had to guess.
Probably.
Wealthy off of building a company that does ball bearings and sold it when he was 40. Okay. You know what I mean? Like his dad had a small business and he passed it on to his son and the son innovated it somehow. Now he's got a bunch of money and he's a pilot.
Yeah.
Or you know, he's got his own plane, his little private plane to puddle jump everywhere, you know.
Maybe a little Beechcraft, something like that.
Beechcraft, something like that. Yeah. Take the MILFs up in, you know what I mean? Going down to the Keys, grabbing some of them hot WILFs, you know. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you ever heard of WILF?
Yes.
Woman I'd like to fuck. Yeah. Anyways.
Or wife I'd like to fuck.
So I'm hearing all this. I'm like, you know, he must be talking about a non-commercial residential parrot head plane. I walk out. The gentleman in question is probably 23 years old.
Oh.
And he's leaned back arms crossed, not in the pompous position like executive at his desk chair. What can you do for Brown? You know, whatever. It's all right. I'm at the end of my drinking. I shouldn't drink anymore, but I can't stop holding court with these two other chachi dudes who are just enamored with this guy and his planes.
Okay.
Turns out his planes are the property of the U.S. Army or Navy or Air Force. This guy is a young military man.
Okay.
See what I'm saying? Like I said, he can't be over 23 or 24.
Well, I was going to say, if he was wearing a flowered shirt, he probably works for the CIA. And he's running drugs.
Oh, right. That was my vision of him before I saw him. When I walked out, I was like, he looks exactly like what he is, a 23-year-old who just got out of basic, who's probably never seen the shit before. Now, listen, I love our veterans. When you do stuff like that, you know, you deserve something. You don't deserve your ass kissed.
Yeah.
You know, that's another. You know, you deserve something, but you don't deserve.
Idolizing.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Or over idolizing.
Or just automatic. I'll yeah. Here.
Well, all right.
You'll understand in a second. So he's like, yeah. So when I hear him talking about, yeah, don't ask me too much. It might end up actually happening. I'm like, you taking someone on a government like you're gonna take a civilian on a government plane and then get arrested forever and get dishonorably discharged? Like that's not something you can do.
I'm sure it's happened more times.
I mean, yeah, I'm sure, but like, come on, man. I mean, I'm not a military lawyer, but it doesn't seem like something that they can just go around doing.
No, they probably shouldn't, but.
I mean, from the mind of Kelly, they probably shouldn't. Great insight. And so Alex is getting him and his buddy, the guy who was just completely enamored with him. Yeah. He was like, he kept going, I've got a salad back there somewhere. I was like, cool, man. I just walked in the door. Who'd you order it from? He goes, I have a salad back there. I know it. I ordered it however long ago. I was like, all right, I'll go check. Obviously, there's no fucking salad back there. He phantom ordered it. Like, he wanted it in his head.
Tried to will it.
Yeah. He's like,
being.
I'm sure I ordered it because I thought about it. It's like, I'm not a fucking iPhone, man. I can't just read your mind. You know? So, and I can pick these people out like 50-50 almost. I've got about 50-50 accuracy when they go, hey man, I ordered something a really long time ago. And I'll be like, I'll go check no matter what. But I think you had ordered it. We got to think of a good term for that.
What is it?
Oh, I don't know. We got to think of one.
Term. Well, I was just gonna let you know that people call Breezy all the time and go, where you at? Yeah. Like they've been waiting. An overly long amount of time. Yeah. Like, where you at?
Yeah.
Where are you at? You know? Well, I'm at Huckapoo's. The Huckapoo's is just a wonderful blanket term for every place on Tybee. But I'm at Huckapoo's. They're like, well, you didn't call this number. Sure I did. And what had happened was like they had called like either Royal or Brett to pick them up hours earlier. And for whatever reason thought it was all part of the same, like a round trip.
Oh, really?
Even 5 hours later. Like, well,
shut up.
Like, well, we called you guys earlier. I'm going through the phone. That was at 2:30. This is 8:30.
It is 8:30 now.
Yeah.
What did we?
But it's like, where are you at? Like,
I love that. Breezy, where are you at? Yeah. What?
Yeah, well, then now I'm on the defensive. Yeah. Did I mess up?
But see, at least you got the ledger right there on the phone. Be like, yeah.
You didn't call me.
I don't see a missed call from you, brother
sure
or sister.
I did. Like, that was at 2:30.
Yeah, see, you can prove it. I can't prove it. I'll be like, you order that in your head.
Yeah.
You tried to telepath it to me.
How long does it take to make a salad at Huckapoo's?
How long does it make? That's what I'm saying.
Like, could you just like?
All right. Look, man, I'm gonna give y'all some inside info about salads at Huckapoo's. Okay. We used to grill the chicken, but now the chicken's already grilled, so we just throw it in the microwave for a second. So the longest salad, unless we're like crazy busy, takes less than 2 minutes.
All right. Yep. So it's prep time. Yep. Regardless of like the queue, but just to put one together.
Once they start making the salad, it is probably less than 30 seconds, honestly. There's no way your salad got.
So how is he after he found out that he never actually
He
ordered
never.
this?
Well, of course I couldn't talk him into it, so I was like, "Tell me what you had. Tell me what you think you ordered. Tell me what your little head ordered." This isn't even the Darren. He's the guy enamored by the Darren. I guess he's the Darren too. He goes, "I want this with no cheese and this and that," and literally lickety split. It was in his hand 5 seconds later because that's the nature of a salad at Huckaboo's. Right. But luckily, that was all. That was his exit strategy. Like, he was gone after that. I was like, "Oh, great!" So now this dude's Darren's biggest fan is gone. Maybe it's time for him to go. So they start to close out, and the guy, the Darren, now he doesn't have a captive audience, and he starts trying to get other people involved. One of them being Alex, and Alex is like, "Look, man, I'm about to leave. Could you close out?" He goes, "I tell you, man, guy just want to sit around and have a beer." He's like, "You can stay as long as you want. Pay me." The next guy's coming on. He goes, "No, I'm just going to go then." Like, he was disrespected for asking to pay his tab because the shift was changing over.
Okay.
Pays his tab. 3 on 52. Alex walks up to me. He looks at me. He's like, 3 on 52. Real cool, man. I had to sit there and listen to your fucking plane talk all goddamn night like you're a fucking child. Didn't say anything about, he's just like, Alex is getting off work. Like, whatever. He's like, "I'm done." Puts it down. All of a sudden, the dude starts being like, "Fuck you, buddy," talking to Alex. Because Alex had the posture of, "I'm not going to sit around and pay attention to you." Alex hears him and he goes, "Don't get rolled down the stairs right now." Like, polite, but like.
I love that.
Yeah, he goes, "Don't get rolled down the stairs right
I
now."
love that. God bless him.
And the guy was like, Alex was like, "No, for real. Don't get rolled down the stairs right now." So I hear it. A bunch of other people hear it. It's kind of like, this dude seems pretty harmless, though. It's just like, so then this is the entitlement, the military entitlement that not every military guy has. He goes, "This guy just hates that to teach all of my boys how to protect his dumb ass here in this country."
Oh, no.
So as I broke the sentence down, I was like, number one, you probably hadn't trained a goddamn thing. You might have trained your team member how to play Call of fucking Duty late at night in your barracks. Number two, there hasn't been a war that we needed to be protect us. Look, man, I know that there's like the general term of like the military protects the U.S. I get it.
Yeah.
But your little jackass Air Force fucking Peckerwood ass has done nothing to protect me personally.
Yeah.
You don't deserve a goddamn thing. And if you only tip $3 on 52, what if? Fuck you.
Yeah, and to play that, my dad was in the Navy, used it to become an amazing physician, and I applaud anybody who puts their time in whatever capacity and all that. But it almost seems like this guy could be a pilot, because I've never met a pilot in the military who acts like that.
Man,
I've met general infantry, like Hunter. Hunter is full of them. They come down River Street and run roughshod because they're rowdy.
Yeah.
They've been ratcheted up 900 degrees, to be ready. But pilots are the most calculating, checklist-oriented, regimented people I have ever met.
You're absolutely right about that.
And I've seen guys from Hunter play their card.
Yeah.
The enlistment card.
Yeah.
I get it. You're doing something, doing a service that I can or won't do. But I've never met a pilot who acts remotely like
I didn't
they're bona fide in some way.
I didn't even think of that. And see, that's what I think what drew the most distance between he and I, and how much I hated him, because I've known vets or current service members who I know have seen shit, and they're tightly wound because they've been in the shit.
Yeah. And if they haven't been, they're even more tightly wound. Like, we're geared to.
Right, yeah.
But pilots are the most calculating.
Yeah. But I give certain guys a pass because it's like, I don't know what happened to you. I don't know how many beheadings you saw.
Sure.
It's fine if you don't tell me. It's fine if you get a little chippy. Yeah. That's fine. But it's sort of like meeting your heroes. Like, don't ever do it. Like, the really great. The people that are really, 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 really great at things are typically salts of the earth.
The people that are kind of good at things are all fucking douchebags. You know?
Yeah.
So then, like, you got, like a SEAL Team 6 guy, you probably never know it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, you'd probably be afraid of him by looking at him somehow, you know?
Yeah.
But you never know it. You'd never be like, oh, there's the SEAL Team 6 guy and you're making up.
If you're SEAL Team 6, you're trained not to let anybody know you're
Yeah.
even a whisper in the wind.
Yeah, so I wonder I wonder if he was piloting a drone instead of an actual fucking airplane. That's the thing.
Seriously.
That,
That seems more of a video game mentality than
yeah,
actual
for sure,
pilot
yeah.
mentality.
I mean, he could have just been lying completely.
That's,
But humans have been known to do that. You know what I'm talking about? Just lie.
oh, yeah.
Yeah, they'll
Okay,
lie.
on occasion. Yeah.
Yeah, I've done it.
There's occasional videos you see on YouTube or whatever that someone's wearing something that doesn't work out regiment-wise or company-wise.
Stolen valor, yeah.
And
I love that
they'll
shit.
get called out.
Yeah.
And it's like,
Oh,
there's no
yeah,
way-
what infantry were you, brother? And he's
Yeah,
like,
whatever.
oh, 107.
Well, that patch doesn't match that hat.
Yeah. Hey, they take that shit seriously, too.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they should. I'd be pissed because you think about it, like, if I were to study, you know, like particle physics forever, and I had a patch that said particle physician, and I saw someone else wearing it, I'd be like, oh, where'd you study? I'd be like, you motherfucker, you didn't earn that?
Right.
You know?
Right.
In the coming weeks, though, we'll be having some, you know, we're turning into a little bit more of an interview show. I was happy to do it with just you and I this week. Real quick before we go.
Oh, yeah.
Restaurant week.
No.
We've been having restaurant week here on Tybee where it's like some people make a special menu.
Yes.
So it's intended to be you make a special menu, special drinks, and it's to drive, you know, business to your place if you're new or whatever.
Sure.
But some people just have their same menu and charge you more for it.
That's the thing.
That's the thing. Some people have like I think Seawolf had like a pop-up where a guy came from the outside, did like a pop-up food truck thing, made some Asian food. So they did something special.
Yeah.
Well, Huckapoo's hasn't done it for 2 years now. But what we used to do, had you ever been to a restaurant week? All right.
Huckapoo's?
Here's what it used to be.
No.
We didn't change anything. What we would do is we would say, you may have 2 slices of pizza and 2 cans of PBR for the low price of $14, or you could have 2 slices of pizza and split a bottle of Boone Farm for $14. And you get to choose between Strawberry Hill and Electric Blue. So we did, listen to this shit. So we did a restaurant week. People would come in. 90% of the people knew that Huckapoo's is just fucking off if we're talking about doing some specials like that, like whatever. But some couples would come in and go, you fucking serious? Right? Well, turns out we ordered a case of Boone Farm and only like 5 people took us up on the Electric Blue and the Strawberry Hill or whatever. I came in like a week later and 10 more of the bottles were gone. I was like, oh, people have been taking these home. They're like, no. Ryan Bentley drinks one every night he comes in. He would come in, get a bottle of the Blue Electric or the Strawberry Hill, and just put it down. And I'm thinking like, this is the same guy that used to drink half a bottle of Fireball every night.
Oof.
And then I've told the story 1,000 times, but I'll tell it a goddamn again. I don't give
All
a
right,
shit.
let's do it.
We used to have a Fireball cooling machine.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like the machine, you dump the bottle over on the top of it. It's got a little lever, like it's a tea urn or some shit.
Oh, yeah.
So when he and I would work together, he'd walk by it, pour half a shot, drink it, keep on working, you know. But he would go through about a half a bottle in that fashion every night. 2 shifts in a row that I worked, like it was barely pouring, barely coming out. I was like, what the hell? So finally, the next time that I came in, I was like, it was really not pouring. I was like, has no one addressed this? Not even Brian, the guy who drinks all of it. And this is like pretty close to the early stages of Fireball, like right when it came out.
No one addressed this.
Yeah, no one
Look
addressed.
at you taking a stand.
I'm an executive here. Has no one addressed this? Have you not addressed this? I'm a pilot. Have you not addressed the horizon line yet?
All right, some supply problems.
So I was like, I'm fixing this thing. You know, we sell a lot of this shit. I don't need this impotent, prostate problemed pouring situation over here. It's like breathing through a cocktail straw, you know? So I popped the bottle out and I opened the top of the thing. And what lay inside were four, count them, 4 wine bottle openers. We would keep the wine bottle openers on top of the machine, and I guess every time they would change the bottle, one of the wine openers would fall into the reservoir. Now, just having, all right, and they had black plastic handles. So just mechanically, just having a couple of those in there wouldn't cause a real stoppage, wouldn't cause a bottleneck or a stoppage of the Fireball flow. You know what will stop it, though? When the Fireball corrodes the black plastic handles off of these wine keys and clogs up the hole that they come out of. The Fireball whiskey corroded the black handles off of wine corkers, so much so that it blocked up the hole where the Fireball could not come out. And people put the shit into their body continuously every single day. Fireball whiskey. Today's episode is sponsored by Fireball.
The acid bath.
I mean, come on, dude. So here's the rest of the story. So I wasn't working with Ryan that night. Came in the next time, and I go, "Hey man, fix the problem. Do you know what it was?" He goes, "What?" I go, "All the wine keys were falling in there, and that fucking Fireball corroded all the blackness off of it, and it's been seeping into what we've been pouring everyone." As he's pouring himself a shot, he's like, "Damn, that's crazy." Some things will never change anyone's mind.
No. You just suspend disbelief and you navigate as you can.
Someone used my shower the other day.
You?
Yeah, it wasn't me. It was a friend of mine.
Okay.
He was coming to work and his hot water heater was off. I was like, "Sure."
Yeah.
And I have a very, very big phobia of my shower drain.
Okay.
There's a few new hairs on my shower drain.
Wait, okay. Wait, are you concerned about going down the shower drain or just the things that are around?
Touching it.
Okay.
I can't. I've talked about it a million times, but I can't touch it with my feet.
Okay. All right.
And it's in the center of my shower.
Yeah.
It's not at the end like most
Yeah.
people.
You don't have a tub in your shower.
Yeah, I have to.
Huh. So like maybe a little rubber gasket over the top, that little rubber screen?
Nothing's going to do it.
Just
I'm
nothing.
cringing right now even
All
thinking
right,
about the
all right.
prospect.
Take it easy. It's going to be
Yeah.
all right. All right.
I'd rather, when I slipped in the shower like 6 months ago, I would have rather hit my head on the wall than have any of my body touch the shower. I'd rather die.
Wow.
Next week, we'll be talking about Long Island iced teas right when you get to the restaurant at 11 o'clock, which I dealt with this week. Kind of funny. We'll see. Like I said, we're going to have some pretty nice guests coming up. Some bar owners, some bar patrons. Some Mac Williams was on last week, and that was a super good time because a couple of my friends came into work and said, "Hey, we were just starting to plan our wedding, and your podcast came out like the week we started planning our wedding." So congratulations to them. If you would do us a favor and subscribe to the YouTube channel, youtube.com/FromBehindTheBarcast, Instagram FromBehindTheBarcast, and we are on Patreon. I'm not going to do one this week, but I am going to do one next week. And listen, I've had a few people come up to me and go, "Hey, I joined the Patreon because I wanted to hear the tea. I wanted to hear you talk about Clint." Look, it's never going to happen here or on the Patreon. Nobody's going to talk shit about nobody. There ain't nothing to talk shit about.
No.
But if you'd like to join the Patreon, it's patreon.com/FromBehindTheBarcast. We will have a lot of content on there coming up. Now that the dust has settled a little bit, we'll be posting on shorts on YouTube a little bit more, get the Instagram back going. And we love you. Thank you for being a part of Behind the Barcast. We'll see you next week.